big shots by John
Gustafsson in a
Jones.
world of trouble here.
Gustafsson's in trouble. That's
John
it.
Jones has
That's
reached.
it.
From Cormier's full-on YouTube prediction to Triple C making some remarks, one question's swarming everyone's minds. Is the Frenchman gonna make history, or is Jones gonna do what he does best? Who could answer this question more accurately than some other professional fighters? You already know who comes first. DC.
How does Jones handle those moments where he cannot secure takedowns?
Who is most likely Jones's biggest foe, believes Cyril has a strong chance of triumphing in the upcoming UFC 285 title match. Cormier also thinks that Jones could have greater difficulties dealing with Cyril than he would with anybody else. Hard to believe, right? Even Francis Ngannou would have been an easier option for Jones, according to DC. Indeed, Francis defeated Gane, but you see where I'm going with this, right? Like everyone else, Daniel once believed that Ngannou versus Jones would be the biggest fight in UFC history. Come on, it's Ngannou, you know? Moreover, DC joined the conversation on his YouTube channel, suggesting that Jones and Gane would have a tough style matchup. He said that Jones should be scared as their reach doesn't have that much of a difference. Typically, Jones's 84-inch reach has made success easy for him, yet this time he might need to adjust his plans, because as Cormier noted, Gane shares many characteristics with Bones, and on top of that, can move like he's a lightweight fighter.
Cyril Gane possesses a lot of those same skills. He can stand on the outside and fight.
DC may have said all of this because he's salty, but who says he's wrong? I didn't. Putting everything else aside, Daniel offered Jones some counsel, telling him to be careful taking shots and not show signs of damage. Yet after being away from the ring for over 3 years, Jones still doesn't seem bothered. He feels that his current situation is favorable and things will play out. To him, MMA is once again entertaining for him. I guess this is good news. After being away from all the action for so long, you'd think the man would find it difficult to return. Nope, almost as if he never left.
Now, it seems like it's time to start warming up to the...
He's obviously given the issue considerable thought. He must, because he is in a new division. Yet what genuinely motivates him to continue is his unwavering faith. Jones is certain that God is working in his favor.
I'm going to stick with my religion and continue to believe that everything happens for a reason. And now today I look at it this way.
I think Mike Tyson stated the same thing regarding him, the one where he said that John had a divine gift that made him invincible. In any event, he genuinely has the impression of being the chosen one. Although he acknowledges having experienced a few close calls, he firmly thinks he can prevail. There haven't been any genuine near calls. He's had, maybe 3 such moments in his career? What makes John Jones the GOAT is his confidence, because everyone understands that success in MMA needs more than simple physical fitness. Mental presence also plays a big role. Anyway, returning to the section about predictions from other fighters, guess who else supports John? Robert Whittaker, who asserted that Jones wrestles at completely another level than Cyril.
John Jones is the best of all time. Okay, of all time, pound for pound, greatest of all.
The Australian believes John will overcome the Frenchman, and the break might not be rust, but rather something that has never been witnessed before. Rob also said that no one can even come close to John's greatness. Putting strength to the side, wow, is his cardio something. Grappling is something out of this world. The striking is exceedingly amazing. Nonetheless, he reiterated that he would advise John to use caution because the other man also carries one big oxygen tank. Plus, you know, the GOAT isn't the only one with a great fight IQ. As I mentioned already, Cyril is a really talented boxer, but Jones must have thick skin because the moment Cyril sees an opening, it will be taken advantage of. Enough of Rob, let's talk Triple C. Henry Cejudo and Cormier almost have the same views. While he lost against Francis, Henry believes Gane will present Jones with a greater test than Ngannou ever could have. I sometimes doubt that this dude has trained with Jones.
What's your reach? I'm 84, he's 81. Got a few inches on him.
You still got the...
Another fighter you obviously know of, John McCarthy, seems to be on John's side. Also, he said things that were similar to what Whittaker had said. And I think you would agree too, because if you notice, the only close calls Jones has had are frequently those who are physically closest to him. You know, I'm talking reach and build-wise. Jones could indeed have one of his very few near-death experiences. Considering that the reach is only different by 3 inches, it may possibly be worse. Yet the reach edge may not seem like much, especially when you realize Cyril is also a little taller, but man am I excited. I know you know what I'm gonna say next, which many on Twitter also believe, assuming John gets away with his kicks. You are already aware of the outcome, and let me tell you, even though Cyril is a great kicker, he hasn't encountered somebody quite like Jones. I see Gane flying off his feet and then the usual ground and pound. But this one pro may not be happy with what I just said, and it's Michael Bisping himself. Like many others, he believes Cyril to be Jones's most formidable opponent to date, and as I just said, a reach of 81 is hardly anything to laugh at. Indeed, Gane will approach, or at least try to approach Jones, but how he handles pressure is another story. Jones has more experience with it. I mean, come on, Bones has fought in more title matches than Cyril has participated in UFC matches. Anyway, returning to Bisping, he asserted that Gane moves too rapidly besides being John's hardest opponent. I mean, are we sure that he isn't a lightweight? In addition, he possesses a distinctive fighting style and several creative combos. Yet Cyril lacks John Jones' maturity and experience in a noticeable way. Although it doesn't definitely mean John will lose, at this early stage, Gane seems like the underdog, right? I'll be darned then. Yet it turns out that Cyril is only slightly favored over Jones. But once more, Michael talks about ring rust before coming to the inevitable conclusion that the GOAT will triumph in the end, no matter what.
If he was the greatest of all time, maybe he's not, but the reality is it doesn't matter whether he's your top guy, your GOAT.
I believe that when they developed Jones in a lab, they most likely programmed that into him. Many fans concurred with Bisping that Jones should have no problem whatsoever in UFC 285, so I suppose for him it was simply another regular day on the battlefield. But other people have yet to make any specific predictions, and that's Stipe Miocic. He promised to give him the winner of 285 in July. The public has been calling for a Stipe versus Jones battle ever since it was revealed that Jones was moving up to heavyweight. If you listen to what the majority wants, the result is that supporters will be thrilled if it does happen. This assertion is strengthened by the fact that there was a huge rumor regarding it in December, even though nothing of the like occurred. Yet Sean O'Malley is certain that Gane is no joke. It's true that there was never truly a debate since Jones was always thought to prevail, but you now actually have to give it a thought as to what Jones' plan of action will be when someone like Cyril shows up. There may be a tit for tat, could be domination, due to the fact that Jones now has around 30 pounds more muscle than he had previously. Will he be able to continue doing what he does for 25 minutes? But since Gane is such an unusual beast, the fight is really intriguing. He stands strangely, he kicks with an even stranger spin, and who knows, maybe he will be the one to end John's reign. Anyway, that's enough UFC talk until the event, right?